I wanted to do this interview. It's often the stories behind the fire that make them so impactful. And so when I look at Altadena and many of these places, I have a relationship with it in some of the cities like Altadena, where it's reminiscent of the California Bay Area and how I grew up. And when you look at this city, just it's was an amazing city with so much talent and notable people, from athletes, actors to classical pianists and artists and authors, people that worked at Nassau, Pulitzer Prize winning, and also me being a Black American, that this was a city where the Great Migration from the South, they migrated to Altadena. And so these homes were passed down. They own these homes, and these were individuals that would likely never leave. And so I wanted to really do this because I know that you have extensive experience in dealing with this, and there's a lot of people now that I don't want to say are, could potentially be taken advantage or just jumping in here and not really having the experience that you have to deliver and help the people and understand their stories. So if both of you could just give an overview of just some of your experience in dealing with wildfire litigation and insurance bad faith.
My name is Robert Jackson, and I have uh, about 20 years of experience handling wildfire cases. I have worked on almost every major wildfire west of the Mississippi since approximately 2015. 2017 was the outbreak of the San Diego wildfires. And in that time, I got together with two other lawyers and we developed the national model for handling mass tort wildfire cases. I've had the privilege of representing thousands of victims over the last 20 years and been successful in recovering several billions of dollars for those victims. The thing that I enjoy the most about handling wildfire litigation is very simply watching the process of the enabling of people to rebuild their lives through the work that we've done. It's extremely gratifying, and it's a process that I enjoy being a part of, an integral part of.
Hi, I'm Eric Ratnoff, and I first got involved in wildfire litigation when about 10 years ago my phone rang, and a lawyer I knew from Southern California in Robert's firm said, "Hey, there's this big fire up near you, and we're investigating it." And I had known about Robert's reputation for quite some time. And at that point, having the opportunity to jump in and help a community, in that case, it was Calaveras County associated with the Butte Fire up here near Sacramento. And since that time, the ability to jump in and fight for people who are at their absolute worst in terms of what's happened to them, where everything's been taken away from them, and the opportunity to jump in and try to help them correct that wrong, and as Robert said, to rebuild their lives and to rebuild their homes, their communities, and to get their lives back on track. It is an exceptionally rewarding experience, and probably the most rewarding type of work that I've done as a lawyer over my past 30 years of practicing law.
Thank you for Robert and Eric. Right now, there's so much information and content around the fires that could be confusing. It could add just more complexity. But the most pressing issue is, as you know, on folks' mind is the insurance coverage. Will people be able to recover enough money from their insurance to rebuild? And I just wanted you two very credible lawyers that have experience in this to speak to that, to how, you help people recover to actually rebuild and start their life.
Well, the most
Yeah,
important thing we can do for them right now at this early juncture is to assist them in maximizing the recovery from their insurance policy. Insurance policies are not meant for the layperson to be able to understand or interpret. They're written in very confusing language, but we've had literally thousands of opportunities to review just about every situation that could come up under a homeowner's insurance policy. And we are going to help all of the residents of the Los Angeles fires by helping them with their insurance claim. Whatever questions they have, bring it to us. We are going to help them for free. We're not going to charge them a dime. We want every portion of their insurance policy to go directly to their pocket. And that is probably the most important thing that we can do. There's folks that, are college educated, very intelligent, but still can't understand their own insurance policy. I can't tell you how many times we've had the opportunity to review, bring ourselves up to date, and to provide assistance with insurance related questions to people that we've helped.
And one of the key things you said is for free. When you look at the situation now, I was watching yesterday, and a father, a husband, was speaking on that. In this time right now, this is when you would call someone, and it says there's no one to call because everyone that you would call is in the same situation that you're in. So when you talk about doing the work that you do, helping them with their insurance for free, initially, that's huge. Is there anything you would like to add to that, Eric, in regards to maybe you can piggyback on some of the tactics per se, or just some of the methodologies that insurance companies use in these situations, and what people can do to make sure they get maximum value from their policies?
sure. Time was when, insurance companies would issue policies and they'd be in relatively clear language. And that was a long time ago. And the person who was buying the policy would be able to read it and understand it and know what they were getting in exchange for their premium that they were paying every month. Well, you march ahead decade after decade over the last, 75 to 100 years, and you look at what's happened to the insurance marketplace, and it is a situation where policies use really arcane language that is then interpreted by the courts in certain ways. And there's, frankly, with respect to a lot of provisions, it's often not possible to really understand what they mean, and insurance companies take full advantage of that. And it's really actually very intentional that there is policy language that is unclear on its face, but has very specific meaning to lawyers and judges. And insurance companies are often not completely honest with their policyholders as to what the language of the policy means and what the benefits owed actually are. And so what we do in circumstances like this is totally for free. We review the policies with the homeowners. We go through the language. We help them understand what the policy really means, what their coverages truly are. And we evaluate the communications with the insurance companies. And we also, help people, write correspondence back to the insurance companies to make sure that they are communicating in a clear, written manner. And something that's really important from the very beginning of the claim. And look, I want to initiate this by just saying, we know that everyone out there who has a claim right now, you're exhausted, you're frightened, and it's really hard to say, it's easy for us to say, hey, do the following things. We get that it's really hard to do things right now. You know, you're living in circumstances that probably are not comfortable for you. You've lost your home, your kids are displaced, maybe their school's burned down. But one of the things that is going to be important for you to know is that your communications with your insurance company, frankly, it's okay to talk to them, but confirm things in emails. Make sure that you get a written record, that you're asking them the questions that you need answered, that you want them in writing to explain your policy terms. You want them in writing to tell you what are your coverages. And there's absolutely no reason why the insurance company can't do that. And as things progress, if you're having difficulty with the insurance company, continue to put things in writing. If you happen to have a phone call, confirm back in writing after the call the highlights of the call. And remember to stay respectful. Even if they do things and say things that make you want to wring their necks on the other end of the phone, remain respectful in your written communications. Be professional and straightforward and courteous, regardless of how awful they are. But get your questions out there, request that they're answered in writing, and that will go a long way towards putting pressure on the insurance company to do the right thing.
There's one more thing we want to add to that. Request in writing from your insurance company that they provide you with a full copy, including all endorsements of your insurance policy. Under the California regulations, they have 30 days after receipt of your written request to provide you with a full copy of your insurance policy. And the other thing that is just absolutely critical is make sure you document by keeping a diary of all of your communications, verbal, written and otherwise, with your insurance company. You're going to forget the date, the exact substance of what you discussed with your insurance company. Having a written diary or log of those communications will really help down the line.
So in this situation, thing you point to is documenting your communication with your insurance company, the email communication, documenting that, making sure you're saving that. And the other thing is having a separate log of all of your interactions and communication in dealing with how you're handling this tragedy.